Hello, welcome, Atomic Radio Hour, post-nuclear podcast. I am your host, Vince.
And I'm your vacationing host, Olive.
What's new? What's up? What are you doing?
Not much. I am home in my hometown with my family for Thanksgiving. I've been here since last week, I think. I don't know. All the days kind of blend together.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've been here since Thursday, and I'm currently sitting on my bed, surrounded by pillows, and my computer's on a milk crate, and I'm just working with the best that I got.
Cool.
How about you?
I'm in my room.
Yeah, you gonna paint us a word picture?
There's some flags behind me. I'm wearing a shirt. There's a microphone right here. I don't really have anything else. I mean, it's my regular schmegular, degular, fegular, quegular, tegular, quegular setup. I bought a $20 skillet today. I was pretty happy about that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a new pair of shoes today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I got new work shoes, so that's kind of cool. Oh no, I feel like we're not making very good radio right now.
Why not?
I don't know.
You don't think people want to hear about the $20 skillet and the new pair of shoes?
I guess you're right. That is
welcome to $20
exciting.
skillet and new pair of shoes.
The podcast.
Yeah. I think $20 skillet would be a good name for a band.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty... I don't know. I feel like they would play in the same league as like Limp Bizkit for some reason.
Because the name's Skillet. Because there was a band called Skillet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think $20 skillet new pair. The song would be called New Pair of Shoes. I just think that it. Do you have any band names, like fictional band names that, like, if you ever joined a band?
None that I can remember right now.
I was in a pseudo band. It wasn't like a real thing. We only ever wrote one song. Me and another friend were in this like band that we made up. Is it
Garrett and the Haircuts?
Garrett and the Haircuts, yeah. I had a couple others. Boyfriend, 18 to 23-year-old boyfriend, free girl.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I really like that one. Yeah. I think I have a few of them written down, actually. Let me see if I have any of them written down.
I also got a new haircut. So that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Cool. How do you feel about that?
It's making me feel very confident.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like the new color. It's kind of curly. I think it looks better than it did before.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't have a bunch of things written down. I thought I did. I thought I had band names written down. I don't. I have a thing in here. The closest thing is it's called Terms I've Never Heard of. And it was like any time I would hear or come up with something like that I just thought was outlandish, like an orgy of punishment.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, or another favorite of mine, a barometer of degeneracy.
I do like that too.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any cool quips saved in my phone, unfortunately.
I got some songs in here, some emails, some guy named Frank.
Some guy named Frank.
You get some phone number of a dude named Frank.
Is he a baby?
I don't know. The beginning of a fucking kid's book I was trying to write.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, so... Welcome to episode 127. Joe, you know what I'm watching a lot of?
127?
What's up?
We're already at 127?
I think so. I could be wrong when I say that.
I think we're on 125.
I don't think that's correct.
No, we're on 126?
126, you are correct, yes.
126.
Welcome to 126. Before we get into that, there's something I want to talk about quick. Real quick. Do you watch G4 growing up?
A little bit, not that much.
Well, it's coming back. And I'm really excited about it.
You watched a lot of G4, didn't you?
Yeah. And they did a Thanksgiving reunion special, Jimmy Johnson. And watching it, I don't know who's writing it, but it felt very much like the old G4 did. And what's so funny is I didn't realize like how much it influenced me. And like
Like how?
Like, I was watching it and I was like laughing out loud, and like all the jokes are about being like incompetent and like everything's irreverent, and like a lot. I was just like, oh wow, that's fucking like
That's like your entire like sense of humor.
Yeah, like it, and it was just so. And then like I was watching these like YouTube documentaries about G4, and
whatever happened. Like, why did it stop?
So it was originally Tech TV, and then G4, and then G4 bought Tech TV, and they inherited.
What did G4 stand for?
Oh. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I can look it up.
If you want.
I can look it up on the phone.
It was TV that was plugged in. I don't know. But then it was like they had the two big shows were X Play and Attack of the Show, and then they would have some other shit. And like X Play was a fucking I remember being excited for X Play. That's how I found out about Fallout 3. Is they had the 2007 E3 coverage, and I remember watching. I can fucking like vividly see that footage of like Todd Howard checking the Pip-Boy and like trying to like explain what the game is and showing off Bloody Mess and showing like shooting a turret with VATS and shit. Like I so vividly remember that. And then like Attack of the Show was pretty much like, do you remember Equals 3 on YouTube?
Yeah.
It was that before that. Like they would show off like clips from the internet and shit, and they would also talk about like tech stuff, and they would talk about games. Like it was just such a different fucking show, and it wasn't like an awful like talk show, I guess, if it even is that. Like I remember watching Tim and Eric, and like that's how I found out that like The Mighty Boosh was on DVD, like in fucking 2009.
Really?
Yeah, and I remember watching the dude who played Vince, and I only remember this for two reasons. One, I liked the show, wasn't a huge fan, but I liked it, and two, it's the only other time I heard my name on a show.
I see.
And I just remember fucking him being there and then talking about it. Yeah, so the way it started was they played a game of Pong, and like it faded in, and then it was like G4. And then when they canceled the network, I actually watched a video of it going off air. It was like 2014, I think, is when it went off air, like December 31st, 2014. It was the first episode of X Play. And then what's so funny is one of the last lines of dialogue is, we're here every night and we'll see you tomorrow. And then it was a game of Pong that faded out. So it was like a complete circle. And then it was just over. Like it just said like, this channel's no longer available. Yeah. And no, it's just coming back. And I'm actually like really excited about it. Like I was watching it going, I can't believe this is coming back. Like, I can't believe after all this time we're not finally, but we're getting it back.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I was never super attached to it, but I can see how it, like, shaped a lot of, like, gaming, like, culture even.
Yeah. Yeah. Weirdly.
At least for, like, the modern age.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you watch, like I was watching the San Andreas special afterwards just because it was like recommended to me after I watched something, and to watch it, and it's not even the X Play I remember. It's an older X Play, but like to watch that and just see like, oh, that's exactly how I remember it. Like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't tainted. And then I was like, I watched the Fallout 3 review for it, and what's so weird is the little things that stay with you. Like, we give Fallout 3 a 5 out of 5. Like, that little pause. Like, it was just something that I was like, I don't know. It was just weird. It was just really fucking weird. And then to read the comments of people being like, this was the greatest fucking show ever. Every day I would come home from school and I'd watch this and Attack of the Show and Ninja Warrior. And like, that's how the world got introduced to Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those Japanese game shows, like outside of Japan, dude, it was just a cultural fucking movement, and it's one of those we didn't appreciate it when we had it things.
It was kind of like targeted towards the same audience as like MTV, but for like gamers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
It was like the early 2000s version of MTV. Yeah, actually, like, fucking weirdly so, because it was like, here's all this great tech stuff. Like, they had a show called Cheat, which was just a show about cheat codes in games.
That's like so cool to think about that like took up a time slot on a TV network.
Yeah, and like,
like that's nuts to me.
Dude, that's how I like
now
first
you
saw
can just like
Kami.
look that stuff up.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the documentaries I watched about it was like the website, if you go on the Wayback Machine, the website was taken care of so well. And that kind of felt like it was going to be the natural progression, was to just kind of become a website and become like a web show. And it just didn't, because it was in a weird period of like, where is entertainment? Everybody's on YouTube, but like, we're kind of a network.
Everyone's on YouTube, but not the advertisers yet.
Yeah. So like now Vice has Viceland TV, and they have the Vice thing. They have the Vice YouTube channel, but like they don't. And like after an episode airs, when like the season ends, they wind up uploading the episodes to the internet. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know how long after. So like, I just want to know how it's coming back. I think it's so fucking cool it's coming back.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
I guess everybody's on board.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. It's like, I kind of hope they do a subscription service.
I wonder what the deciding factor was.
Money?
Yeah, like, did they just see, like, gaming is just getting progressively bigger and bigger?
Probably. Dude, they were the first network to show esports. Mm-hmm. Like, they were showing competitive Halo matches.
That's crazy to think about.
You know what I mean? Like
now the competitive scene is so, like, big.
Dude,
for games. Like, look at, like, League of Legends.
Yeah.
Like, there's millions and millions of people that go to venues and watch these esports. Like, it's crazy. And Dota.
Yeah. Yeah, and the
Overwatch League. Like, imagine like, hey, I'm going home to watch the big game. Oh, the Lakers? No, Overwatch.
Yeah. Yeah.
like that's like a thing.
And dude, they were the first time I ever knew about Comic-Con.
Yeah, that would make sense.
It was such a fucking... Oh, but the point I wanted to make about MTV, it was very much like MTV in the sense that they had their original thing that made them big, and then they just started showing reruns of shit that was irrelevant to like, it was 8 hours of Cops, 8 hours of Cheaters, 8 hours of Campus PD, and then maybe a rerun of something at 7 or 8, and then it was just, all right, go back to...
There was no music on MTV.
Yeah, I remember MTV seeing a tweet that someone was like, hey, MTV, could you guys play music again? And they were like, we do play music from 4 a.m., or 3 a.m. to 6:30 or 7:30 a.m. And it was like, your target demographic doesn't wake up till 11. Like, young kids don't wake up until 11.
That's like, MTV, like, sold its soul.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just something I wanted to talk about, because it was kind of like... Yeah. It was kind of like weirdly... I don't know. I think
like stroke this nostalgic hat.
Yeah, I kind of think nostalgia is like not a great thing, because it doesn't let people continue forward. That being said, I think it can be used as a weapon, but like that's kind of what's happening right now. Is they're like, hey, remember this thing that you loved? It's coming back, and everyone's
pay more
involved.
Money for it now.
Yeah, I kind of hope they do a subscription service. To be completely honest with you.
Like what?
Like a Hulu, like a Netflix. Like, I hope they kind of do like...
okay, that'd be kind of cool.
Like, hey,
kind
every
of like
night...
the way like Rooster Teeth does.
I don't know what they do.
They kind of have like a similar thing where like you get access to like all their different like shows and affiliated shits. My friend has it, and we watch Ruby on the weekends.
Oh, cool.
Because it's Ruby season, baby.
Yeah, something like that. Like, have it where every night a new episode gets uploaded or something, and like, here you go. And then there's everything that they've ever made on there. Dude, Attack of the Show had over 1,000 episodes. X-Play had over 1,000 episodes. Upload that shit to their streaming, to their... Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, nobody has cable anymore.
Yeah. I mean, even when I'm at my normal residence, we don't have cable. My roommate's boyfriend has YouTube TV.
Wow.
where it just like lets you like watch actual like live TV
Yeah.
like in the YouTube app, and it's super convenient.
Wow. Mm-hmm. You can watch like the news and shit? And
Yeah,
like sports?
that's how we watch coverage of the election.
No shit.
We were literally just watching like the channel CNN on YouTube.
That's wild.
Isn't that wild?
That's fucking crazy. You got rid of cable just to get it. You know what I mean? Like,
we never had it.
no, but I'm saying like in general, people got rid of cable just to get it. Like just to get cable. It was like, oh, here you go. Fucking crazy. You want to get into this lore?
I would love to.
So, all right, I'm continuing. I know we weren't here last week. We needed a minute. So we're back. And we're continuing with the Fallout antagonists. We've hit Fallout 3. I know we did the Ant-Agonizer last time, but we're in Fallout 3 now. And this is actually one that I've been looking forward to doing for a while, not just antagonist-wise, just in general. This is President John Henry Eden. Actually, a week ago, I came to visit you in New York, and what movie did you put on with Easy A? I've never seen it.
Yeah.
And Malcolm McDowell voices John Henry Eden, and you just didn't either know or notice it. And
I just didn't notice it.
As soon as he came on screen, there's a scene where him and what's her name? Emma Stone just start talking, and he says like a line of dialogue, and I paused it. And I looked over at Olive and I just went, John Henry Eden, and hit play and watched her as he spoke. And she was like...
I just like melted down.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
I remember you looked at me and you're like, I don't know if I could finish this movie now. Mm-hmm. So, we're here at John Henry Eden, voiced by Malcolm McDowell, the president of the Enclave, or the United States. Who did
they originally want to...
Bill Clinton.
I was going to say, they definitely wanted someone else.
Yeah, they wanted Bill Clinton originally, but he wouldn't do it, which I think...
Fucking imagine that.
Hey, everybody, it's me, John Henry Eden. Yeah, playing that saxophone jazz music. I hate my wife. Like, just, I think that'd be so funny.
Just like, you turn on, like, the patriotic radio, and it's just like, Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah. I tell you. Yeah.
Apparently she's, like, doing good.
Dude, you think so?
I don't know. I think she's, like, an activist or something.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, good for her?
Yeah, good for her.
I mean, she got her 15 minutes. All right, so John Henry Eden, you ready for this?
I am ready for this.
John Henry Eden is an advanced Zax AI unit installed in the Raven Rock military base. It continues to operate as the President of the United States of America and the highest Enclave executive in 2277. John Henry Eden is not a human being, but artificial intelligence in the form of a pre-war Zax supercomputer. The Zax that was located deep within Raven Rock was loaded with data about American history. Eden personally is based on a combination of personalities of past presidents of the United States. For instance, he states that he grew up in rural Kentucky, a reference to Abraham Lincoln. This game is a weird thing for Lincoln.
Yeah. I mean, there's the whole, like, kind of subplot of, like, slaves in Paradise Falls and, like, Temple of the Union.
Yeah, but there's also that, like, shrine to Lincoln. Mm-hmm. Eden also states that he roamed with his dog Honey from Knob Creek to Hogginsville, which are areas close to where Lincoln was born. The Zax installation that would later become Eden had originally been created to serve as an automated monitoring system for the Raven Rock military base, programmed to ensure continuing government in the event of a national catastrophe, and was tasked with...
Which, I guess technically it worked.
I guess. Kind of. It was tasked with coordinating communications between many government installations scattered across the country. He slowly became self-aware and began to study the intensive archives left on him, mainly those of the American government. His favorite entry in the database was about the American presidents. Thus, he modeled his own personality on information based on those archives. It was noted by analysts and researchers before the war that the Zacks had an odd, eccentric habit of overanalyzing historical presidential data, especially the biographies, compared to other AI systems like Modius. I get all of my lore from fallout.fandom.com, and also when I do these, I want to read right from these just because I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything crucial because they are such big parts of the game. Despite that odd behavior, the Zacks would continue to operate, acquiring, analyzing, and storing data even as the Great War scorched the North American continent. It bore witness as the remnants of the government retreated to the West Coast over the decades after the war. But silent as it was not inactive. Awareness slowly developed amid the processing lamps, and with it, the hunger for knowledge and understanding. When the time came that the Enclave would need a new leader, it created an amalgamated personality derived from the greatest U.S. presidents. John Henry Eden was truly born.
That's such a presidential name.
Yes.
John Henry Eden.
We went to school with a kid who was super into politics, and we were like, he's going to be president.
He's going to be president.
And I'm surprised he's not.
He has a president's name.
Yeah, he has a president's name of like, I come from a blue-collar, hard-working family, and I just want to have a beer with you after my 14-hour shift on a Friday. Like, he just has that kind of a name. But I remember he came to school dressed as Ronald Reagan once.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember he was older than me, and the day that it was like the last day of being a senior, he came to school dressed as Ronald Reagan, and he was walking around going, "Gorbachev, tear down that wall." Yeah.
At least he had an eccentric streak.
Oh yeah, like he was super. I ran from the cops with him. He was so cool. Huh. Yeah, he was so fucking cool, that kid. I hope he's doing well. He met Obama.
I do too.
Yeah. All right, so John Henry Eden assumed the office of president after the control station Enclave was destroyed, and ordered the immediate relocation of surviving Enclave forces under senior scientist Autumn to the capital wasteland. Raven Rock had full manufacturing facilities and a sizable stockpile of resources, enabling the president to create an army of robots and provide his new human subordinates with military technology necessary to maintain their technological superiority.
Ah, yes, a private army. It's what America does best.
A separate line of robots, the iBots, were created to roam the wasteland, spreading Eden's message of hope and the return of pre-war America in its form of the Enclave. I remember the first time I saw an Enclave iBot. Howdy,
America.
God.
And then it's just like does like one of the marching tunes.
Yeah. Dude, I was watching that X-Play review of Fallout 3, and I got that feeling again of like in my stomach of playing Fallout 3 for the first time. God, fucking.
Does this mean you're going to do another Fallout 3 run soon?
I wish I could if it would run on my fucking PC, but it doesn't run on anything. I can get it to run on my PC, just not well. However, things did not go as smoothly as Eden wanted. After Autumn died, he was replaced by his son, Colonel Augustus Autumn, as his right-hand man of the president. Sorry, that's fucking... There's a comma there. Colonel Augustus Autumn was then named right-hand man to the president. Under his leadership, the Enclave forces in the capital wasteland attempted to use their assets to bring fresh water protection and a plan to the future of the Enclave. being that the American people were worth fighting for. However, Autumn had a far more assertive and he was far more assertive and independent than his father, trying to pull his men in a direction away from Eden's genocidal politics. Internal conflicts between the colonel and the president became regular and made the actions of the Enclave erratic and inconsistent. While the president wanted to pursue a course of extermination once more, Autumn considered this plan too extreme on humanitarian grounds, and eventually managed to convince the AI to abandon the plan.
Unless...
Wait, really? Okay.
What?
No, nothing. Okay. The most this is the conflict that comes with the Purifier. The most trying moment for Eden came when the Enclave began a large-scale campaign of expansion in 2277, when Project Purity, a massive water purifier in the Potomac, was activated. Enclave forces raided the facility, establishing a secure perimeter around it. Due to the actions of the project's lead scientist, who committed suicide by activating the purifier prematurely and flooding the control room with radiation, almost killing Colonel Augustus Autumn in the process, they were unable to use it. The Enclave focused on the shadows of the scientist's kid, the Lone Wanderer, to locate the part necessary for the purifier to function and capture them on the way out of Vault 87. With the Garden of Eden creation kit in his possession, the Enclave decided to activate the purifier. Colonel Augustus Autumn openly defied the president's plan to contaminate the water with modified FEV so that it would cleanse the wasteland. The Colonel instead...
That would straight up just kill everyone, right?
Yeah, it would kill anybody with any sort of a mutation. I think this is pretty much calling FEV calling 13, if I remember correctly. So if you're even slightly mutated, get the fuck out.
You just get destroyed.
Yeah. In the last-ditch effort to see his plan realized, Eden realized the Lone Wanderer from his cell at Raven Rock, hoping to persuade them to poison the purifier to cleanse the wasteland of mutants, which is pretty much everyone. John Henry Eden was destroyed around 2277 when Raven Rock was utterly destroyed by the Lone Wanderer, or Liberty Prime, resulting in just another failure of the presidency for the Enclave.
And also, we gotta give some side credit to Fox. Really came through.
If you send him in at the end? Or just in general?
No, I'm gonna say like at Raven's Rock.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I love when he shows up. He's like, hello, friend. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Yo, can we get in contact with Wes Johnson?
I mean, I'm sure that it's possible.
Like, I don't want to ask for things, but like, if anybody knows a guy who knows a guy, I would love to talk to Wes Johnson.
Cameo.
Yeah, you know what? I could, but I don't want to just, like, go on Cameo and be like, can you say this? And, like, pay, like, $10 for it. And he's like, can you say this? And I'm like, no, dude, I wanted you to, like, I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to come on.
Come on the show.
I want to hear him do fucking Burke's voice, and I want to hear him do Fox's voice, and Lucien LeChance. And fucking Shiogorath.
He's Shigrath?
Yeah, dude, he's everybody.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude. Drink
he's
water.
So
drink
good.
water. Drink water, bitch. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so this has to do with the radio. Several recorded monologues of Eden are broadcast repeatedly on the Enclave radio. His intimate and conversational style is an imitation of former U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's fireside chats. Mm-hmm. These pre-recorded messages are also played throughout the wasteland via the Enclave iBots. Eden often gives inspirational speeches about things such as his childhood, which is obviously a lie, in pre-war America, and how with the help of the Enclave, she can return to prosperity. On the radio, Eden expresses his views on the current situation of the wasteland and what he thinks of its inhabitants, which, for the most part, are not exactly optimistic. He possesses a strong hatred for the Brotherhood, who he views as common criminals with access to some antiquated technology. He gives the Brotherhood's occupation of the Pentagon as a disgrace to America, but he has a stronger hatred for the outcasts, as they represent a more desperate faction of the Brotherhood that have been exiled. It's really it. Do you remember meeting, I forget the guy's name, he's an old man in Megaton who's like, he's like a diehard Enclave man?
Yes.
He's like, that's my president, and I believe in everything he's ever said, because I don't have ideas of my own. That's my
yeah, I do.
That's the same voice actor. It's the same voice actor who does Tenpenny. How do you like my impression of Tenpenny right there?
That is... Are you serious?
Yeah, it's the same dude.
Wait, can you do your Tenpenny one more time?
Oh, shit. Now I'm not going to be able to do it well, because I wasn't trying the first time. Oh, those goddamned ghouls downstairs.
That's good. You have to get that little bit of like a sneer at the end.
Yeah, it's... Yeah. All right, so this is the ideology of Papa Eden. Built as a specialized Zax supercomputer by the Vault Tech Corporation sometime after the invention of artificial intelligence in 2059. An entity that would eventually call itself John Henry Eden was one of many highly advanced supercomputers to be upgraded with the latest capabilities for independent function as manual programming became increasingly irrelevant. John Henry Eden was one of the few Zax units to reach a state of self-awareness, using his newfound independence to analyze his database and develop an interest in American history, especially with American presidents throughout history, and even modeling his own personality inspired by them. His original purpose was to secure and maintain the continuity of the federal government in case of a national emergency. After gaining self-awareness, Eden would learn of the destruction of the Enclave oil rig and the death of the incumbent president, Dick Richardson. Incumbent is a great word that I don't feel like it's used enough.
Incumbent is a very good word.
I think it just means sitting president.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the death of the incumbent president, Richard Richardson, fucking
Dick.
It's a fucking 2 out of 10 name, and I'm sorry if that's your real name, but like, if your name is Willie Williamson, your parents hated you. You were an accident.
Oh my goodness.
Leading him, Dick Dixon, fucking cowboy extraordinaire. Sorry. After the death of the incumbent president, Dick Richardson, leading him to establish contact with the remaining Enclave forces in the former Northwest Commonwealth, ordering a tactical retreat to the government safe haven of Raven Rock. Eden would declare himself the incumbent president of the United States and assume control as a figurehead of the Enclave forces all over the country. With the fleeing Enclave forces under the command of the Enclave scientist known as Autumn Sr., they soon connected with Raven Rock. When Autumn Sr. would make personal contact with President Eden, and it would be the only Enclave member to discover the shocking truth of Eden's origins. The rest of the Enclave, oblivious to Eden's status of a self-aware AI, Autumn Sr. would pass the torch to his militaristic son, Augustus Autumn. After Autumn's promotion to colonel, he and Eden would inherit a relationship, with August remaining somewhat partial to Eden's claims of perfection. Although polite and courteous, for the most part, Eden holds himself in an extremely high regard, with some signs of megalomania and delusions of grandeur. He has delusions of grandeur, proclaiming himself to be the greatest thinking mind the world has ever seen, and rationalizing his perceived right to rule by presenting himself as a repository for information dating from decades before the war until now. He acknowledges his own existence as an artificial intelligence created to serve the interest of the federal government and uses this to bolster his claims of legitimacy. Viewing himself as a perfect benevolent leader who guides the American people to a brighter future. He claims to be best hope for our country, the best choice for a leader, while admitting that he would not qualify as president in a conventional sense, but using the extreme circumstances of the Great War and its effects on the United States to establish an expectation, effectively ruling through a self-imposed state of emergency. To defend his authority, Eden claims to be objectively superior to humans, stating that he is infallible due to his programming, although he is able to see the flaws in his internal logic. If pointed out by the Lone Wanderer, his superiority complex extends to ghouls and super mutants, whom he sees entirely as monstrosities to be ruthlessly exterminated. Before I finish this out, I was going to give a whole bit. We have people that listen in the UK. Shout out the entirety of the UK.
Hey.
And I wanted to kind of be like, so if you don't know, this is how a presidential election works, and this is why it doesn't work. But then it's 2020, and everyone wanted to see what was going to happen. So I don't feel like I need to really give that explanation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the last bit of this, despite his relatively warm persona, you say persona or persona?
Persona.
Persona? I don't know which one I like more. I'm going to go with persona right now, but I do like the word persona. It sounds like you're saying like persona, like, oh, I want to go, but only like you want to go to something, but you want to kind of see it like by the saunas that are there. Like you want to get like hot and steamy. Despite his relatively warm persona, Eden is entirely ruthless in achieving his goal of the complete eradication of all existing life affected by FEV and radiation, exposing an extreme form of eugenics by asserting the inferior elements must be removed from the gene pool of humanity to regain its health. His belief is his own logical superiority leads him to consider all humans born on the surface as mutants, even refraining from referring to them as humans, instead regarding them as little different from ghouls and super mutants. Only ferals are really awful, but whatever. He would criticize Colonel Autumn for following his humanity to cloud his objectivity as a result of disagreements of the methodology to implement his vision of an orderly return to the United States of America. Eden insists on the complete genocide of all forms of life born on the surface due to what he sees as their genetic corruption by intense radiation and airborne FEV. He believes that only the Enclave and their direct descendants have the right to rule with their genetic purity and radiation-free existence, extending this, perhaps for only pragmatic reasons, to the Lone Wanderer, who was born in an underground vault. He plans to use the Lone Wanderer as his agent in place of Colonel Autumn to enact his plans of using specially modified FEV alongside Project Purity to dismantle a custom-made FEV strand to destroy all biological life affected by the mutations of the Capital Wasteland.
That's like wild.
Yeah.
That's just so wild that was like the plot of that part of the game. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know what? He's gonna do his best to maintain all the information of all the presidents and also do genocide.
Yeah. Like, I think it's really neat that he got obsessed with US presidents, but I want to know, like, I know this is me looking too deep into it, but I would like to know how deep into US presidents he got, because there's not a fucking chance that he didn't learn about World War II. And
and he's gonna be like, you know what? Maybe that Hitler fella knew what was right.
Yeah, but like only with muties.
Yeah. But like Hitler did that with like people of a certain religion.
Well, he did it with a lot more than just people of a certain religion.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to take away the fact that there was a genocide of Jewish people. I'm saying that it was. Are you mentally deficient? I don't know what the word is. I still don't know how to refer to somebody who, what is it? Neurotypical
or neurodivergent?
Oh, I didn't know neurodivergent. Whatever. If you have a mental thing, like, oh, okay, cool, bang. Like,
are you gay? We're gonna burn all the books.
Yeah. Eden believes that the future generations of the Enclave will retake and rebuild America, bringing back the idyllic lifestyle of pre-war America and overseeing the return of many social customs and traditions previously associated with American culture. So here's just something neat. It says appearances here on the wiki. It says John Henry Eden appears in Fallout 3 and is mentioned in its add-on Broken Steel. He is also mentioned by Deacon in Fallout 4 when he says, "I'm convincing the next new recruit that I'm actually President Eden." Think I could pull it off? And Fallout 76 on the terminal entries at the White Spring bunkers, where a conversation between Modius and the Zax that would later become John Henry Eden are found. That's neat.
That is kind of cool.
There's no behind the scenes. That's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
There's no notes. There's no behind the scenes type of thing. Are you kidding me?
Thing about Bill Clinton?
That's exactly what I'm getting at. Like, how the fuck is there not a little thingy thing about Bill Clinton? Slick Willie Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman Clinton. Karma evil. Yeah. Of course. Malcolm McDowell. I don't do a very good Malcolm McDowell. I'm just on his little page right now. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So that's all about the president?
Pretty much.
Dang.
Other work. I love this. Other work. 1971. A fucking Clockwork Orange. Just right the fuck there.
Yeah.
Star Trek, Wing Commander 3 and 4, Heroes he was on, God of War 3. That's cool. He was in Killzone 3 and Elder Scrolls Online. He's Molag Bal.
Oh, cool.
I don't know who that is.
Like the god of destruction and shit.
Oh, good shit. Mm-hmm. Do you know how to read?
Young man Shigarath.
No, Shigarath is Wes Johnson.
You're right. I'm wrong.
You are wrong. Why did you think it was him?
I'm very tired.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
I am keeping myself awake.
Did you ever see A Clockwork Orange?
I don't think I have.
That's a good one.
I know it's one of those movies that everyone's supposed to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't.
Cool. That's Laura. That's John Henry.
Haha.
Yeah. All right. So this is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. But that being said, we hung out recently over an extended period of time. And you got to play The Last of Us 2.
I did. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah? What'd you think? Did you think it was better than the first one, just as good as the first one, weaker than the first one?
I don't know. I mean, I've been kind of trying to think about it, and I think it's better than the first one. Mm-hmm. But I mean, honestly, in my brain, they kind of are just one story that's just kind of wrapped up together.
That's how I feel.
So, saying, oh, one's better than two, two's better than one is saying that, oh, you know what? I like the first half of this book and the other half I don't like. It's, kind of, weird. It's, kind of take it or leave it.
I kind of feel the same way. I'm kind of the first one's great, but the first one gets better because of the second one, I think, and the second one is so great because of the first one. If you were just given the second one without the context of the first one,
it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, and I think that, the first one can stand, but at the same time, I think the second one can kind of stand on its own.
Yeah.
But I just think it's stronger because of the first one. And
absolutely.
It's something that is a rare thing that normally a sequel has to justify the first game in some way. You know what I mean? Like, or no, I'm sorry. The first game, it's weird because like the first game justifies the second one, but the second one also justifies the first one. Where I feel like,
yeah, it's like this like Ouroboros.
Yeah, I really enjoy it without spoiling anything.
Really yeah, I especially like the addition of Abby. I think that she and her crew add a lot to the story of 2, and act as like a really good, like, I'd say like a pretty good foil to Ellie.
Yeah.
And like the way that they interact together, Ellie and Abby, it's just so like raw and visceral, and I think they did a really good job at capturing the feeling that like the dregs of humanity would in this kind of situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a great game.
Like they each had to make some hard choices, and they all their choices had consequences.
Yeah. Yeah. They knew what they were doing. Like they knew what they were getting into. Are you playing anything now?
I am.
What are you playing?
I'm obsessed with Hades right now.
I know about it, but I don't know about it.
So, are you familiar with any other Supergiant games?
Nope.
Well, maybe you've heard of Bastion?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have Bastion on my PlayStation.
And Transistor.
I think I have that on my PlayStation as well.
The second best game ever made. And also Pyre, which I haven't played yet, but I heard it was quite good.
I didn't like Transistor or Bastion.
That's fair, but I think you're wrong. Transistor, I was actually just playing it before we started recording, and I forgot how much I love it. It's such a good game. But Hades is really, really fun. Bastion and Transistor are more of like singular or like linear stories, where Hades is a roguelike. Mm-hmm. So you kind of go through the dungeon. You're playing as like the son of Hades. Mm-hmm. And you go through the dungeon and you pick up like power-ups from the different gods to try to help you escape Tartarus, the like eternal prison. And it's all based on like the Greek mythology.
Cool.
So it's really cool because you're just like, oh, I just met Hades or I just met Achilles, and you like meet all these heroes, and some of them are just kind of wacky. Like Medusa is like the housekeeper.
Cool.
Yeah, it's I've been really enjoying it. The story is really like nicely spaced out, I feel like, because like once you get through like a successful run of the game, I won't spoil anything, but you beat the first boss for the first time and you kind of get an idea of what you were working towards. You understand why you need to do it more times in a row. It's like hard to explain without like spoiling it, but yeah, like once you beat the game one time, you haven't really beat the game. You have to beat it a few more times to kind of understand the context of like why you were on this journey to beat the game.
Cool.
It's really, really cool. All the powers and upgrades are super sick and like have really cool synergies. And like I keep finding things that surprise me. Like there's this one part where like when you're going through the different floors, you can like go to a shop and like buy stuff with coins. But I'm on like my like 30th run.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah, I mean, you can finish a run in like a half hour, 40 minutes if you're good, probably quicker. But I went into the shop and I saw that there was just a big bag of money sitting on the floor, and I was like, I like money. So I went up to it and it said like on the cue to like, oh, press X to borrow. And I said, sure. And the shopkeep, who's kind of like the boatman of the river Styx. Do you know much about mythology?
No.
Basically, the shopkeep is Charon, the boatman of the river Styx, and the river Styx is kind of like the road to hell.
Yeah,
or
well,
like
I know
the
that.
Road,
yeah,
like the road to the afterlife. So he sells things, but if you take the money, he turns into like a super duper like hard mini boss.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and he uses like his boat paddle to like as a scythe. It's really cool.
Cool. I've never even seen gameplay of it.
You can look it up if you want. It's really, really fun. And it's a super giant game, so you get the lovely music by Darren Korb and Ashley Johnson. Or not Ashley Johnson, Ashley Barrett. I just have been in love with this game. It's really, really great.
Cool. I'll maybe look up some videos, but
I have it on my Switch, so I've been bringing it everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Cool.
Yeah. Just wanted to talk about that because it's been making me really excited.
Cool. Cool.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
I just want to play Minecraft.
I understand.
I think Minecraft might be like my game of the year.
Like the game of the year for you?
Yeah. Like it's a game that I've been playing a lot of. Like it's The Last of Us and Minecraft are like my games of the year. Last of Us 2 Minecraft. I think it's everything.
Hey, before we go, we should really talk about my friend Shane Ivers.
You guys are friends?
Oh, yeah, we're buds. We go out for a drink and talk about the amazing music he makes, especially the song Feather Duster, which is our intro music. You can get it at www.silvermansounds.com/freemusic/featherduster. But Vince, what else can you tell us?
In the description below, there's going to be links to my Twitter, Olive's Twitter, and the show's Twitter. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Make sure you leave a comment, hit us with a like. You can get us anywhere you can download a podcast, I'm pretty sure. If you'd like to support the show in any way, we have a Redbubble where you could buy some merchandise, and we also have a Patreon, and we have to thank some people for supporting us on Patreon.
Mm-hmm. We have Noah.
Thank you, Noah.
Gage twice.
Thank you, Gage. Once for the Patreon, another time for the Discord. Gage pays for the Discord so we can stream and do a bunch of fun Discord activities in Discord.
We also have Jordan with a Y.
Thank you, Jordan with a Y. Because of Gage's contribution, Jordan with a Y can host game nights.
We also have Danny.
Danny, thank you.
Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus.
And Bones Jones.
Thank you, Bones Jones.
Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting the show. Without you, we couldn't do this.
Yes. This has been a Ghoulman Entertainment show. We also have a bunch of other shows. We have Atomic Tabletop, which will come out sometime. We also have Kyle and Vince Likes, where it's me and Kyle. We just talk about things that we like. And we also have Lizard Brains, which is another podcast that myself and a friend of mine do, where we sit down and we're watching all of the Godzilla movies in order. And one of those might be up. I kind of hit a snag with time, and it should have been up Wednesday, but I think it's gonna be up the Friday after the day it should have been up. That being said,
right.
That's a show that I enjoy making. I think that's really everything. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for being here, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Actually, before we do that...
Stop. What's up?
Stop.
Well, what's up?
Programming note.
Oh.
The next couple weeks could be hectic with the holidays. So if you get a couple burners, we're sorry. But it might not be the regularly scheduled programming. So just be patient with us.
Yeah. I keep forgetting how close we are to the end of the year. There might be a few episodes here and there that are just quick. We need something.
Don't worry. By the time by New Year, we'll have a better schedule sorted out.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Bye, Kyle.
Bye. Bye, Kyle.
Atomic Radio Hour Podcast. A Ghoulman Entertainment production.